part 2, I'm going to talk about a few more of the vehicles I had. There were quite a few parts cars that I also obtained. Some of them were interesting. There's a lot of cars that I had that I never took pictures of, and I probably wouldn't mention anyways, such as caravans and PT Cruisers. But here's to start is a 65 Valiant Wagon that I picked up. I was a slant 6, 3-speed on the column, and that one was pretty rusty in the floor, and I never really did anything with it. The second one I picked up was a 68 Valiant. One that looked very similar to mine. This one shows that Chrysler would build pretty much anything you wanted, because it was gold with a bright blue interior. Mine was gold with a green interior. These colors, I don't know, didn't seem to match all that well. One of the cars that I drove for a while was a 74 Dart, 2-door hardtop. This one I picked up for 50 bucks. That was a pretty good deal. 318 rally wheels. But it didn't look like much, but it was a fun little car while I had it. After that, I had a 78 Cordoba 360 buckets console car. That one I actually took to Alberta, and it pretty much performed flawlessly. The only issue I ever had with it was a tire that went bad on the way back. So that was a pretty good trip. That car was treated us pretty well. I had a parts car, or what unfortunately turned out to be a parts car, with a 74 Dart Sport 360. That was a 3-speed standard on the floor. And if you'd like to learn more about that car, I have a video of it up. I had also a 78 Aspen. This was a low mileage car that I picked up. I did quite a bit of driving with that car. I actually had 4 or 5 Aspens, including a wagon, but I never took any pictures of them. One of the cars I owned at this time was a 1970 Duster that I pulled out of the junkyard, and one of the reasons I pulled it out was because of its original paint color, which was FJ6 Sassy Grass Green. The car had been hit on the passenger side and the door. It was still restorable, so I had that car. I also picked up a 1966 Coronet, white 4-door, slant 6 as well. That green Coronet that you see in the photos that also passed through my hands briefly. But I ended up selling all these cars, and after a little bit of time I picked up this 1976 Dodge D200 with a 400 big block. It was an automatic, super rusty unfortunately, but I did use that truck quite a bit for hauling stuff. Eventually I ended up parting it out. I also owned a 1989 Daytona Shelby, 2.2 turbo, a 5-speed. That's really the only gay car era car that I really liked. That car was enjoyable to drive. Also sold it, and now I have a 1978 Dodge truck with a 440 big block. As I move along with that truck, you'll get to see the progress, and you also get to see the further projects that I'll be picking up. So thanks for watching, and look forward to many more Mopars in the future.